Hello there guys and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for yet another Premier League match preview by myself as Chelsea are to take on Everton at Goodison Park tomorrow evening, with the kickoff being at 8 PM UK time. And unlike last time out, this is a big game. I told you this before, I am hyped at the moment. Like I really am. Maybe a bit too much in honesty, but I am hyped. And I think we can win the Premier League, and that means no messing about. We go to Everton and we beat them. End of discussion. But we are facing a few injury troubles. Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi are out. But what about Christian Pulisic? Stick around to find out about that, most predicted lineup and score, as well as how to beat Everton, at least in my opinion. And as usual, let me remind you to please subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. Drop a like on this video if you do enjoy our content, if you're excited for the game tomorrow, and also if you just want to cheer me up, because you clicking the like button is, in my opinion, absolutely bloody brilliant. And of course, as always, please be sure to check out my personal channel as well. The link to it is down in the description, or if you click the I button up there, I do in-depth analysis of every single Chelsea game the day after every single Chelsea game. So get around, really interactive, get your thoughts, your opinions involved. So be sure to check that out and subscribe. That'd be massively appreciated. But just quickly before getting into the video itself, let me shout out our sponsors. Get Football Manager 21 with the link down in the description and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And also, if you want to order any of the new Chelsea kits, make sure you use the other link down in the description here and use our promo code VAR25 for 25% off. But now getting into the video, and as usual, starting it off with the team news that Frank Lampard provided in his pre-match press conference. And like I said already, Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi are still out. Lampard actually, after the Krasnodar game in his post-match press conference, stated that neither of them are serious injuries, luckily, and that they shouldn't be out for more than 2 weeks, meaning the hope is for them to be back when we face Arsenal on Boxing Day, which of course will be brilliant. But the boss also did comment on Christian Pulisic. He did say that he isn't injured, but has worded it as had an awareness in his hamstring, which after the Leeds game. Which, I don't know. Obviously, he played in that game more than intended following Hakim Ziyech's injury, and Pulisic had to come on after half an hour already. And Lampard did say Pulisic is fit and he trained as normal all week. And if the Krasnodar game had any importance to it, Pulisic probably would have even featured in that. So he seems to be fine and is fit. But I still find it a little bit worrying that he even had that small awareness again. Like, please, Christian, please sort that out. I don't know what he can do. I don't know if I don't think he's doing anything wrong. Chelsea are a high-level football club. His, diet will be right. His nutrition will be right. His amount of stretching, warming up, whatever else will all be good. But he's not quite getting over those hamstring issues, and it's a little bit annoying. Not just hamstring, also just generally muscle injuries, because obviously he had the adductor problems as well. But with all of that said from the press conference, let's get into my predicted 11, as well as the team I myself will choose for tomorrow night's game. And starting with my team on this side of the screen, I think a large majority of the players there's really not much of a debate on. Like, we know what most of the team is going to be. We know our back five is going to consist of Edouard Mendy in goal, Thiago Silva and Zoom as the two centre backs, Ben Chilwell and Reece James as two fullbacks, and to be honest, so it should be. That should be our back five. And we also know N'Golo Kante will start as the DM in our 4-3-3 system, and we are pretty certain that Mason Mount will start as the left-sided central midfielder. We know that as well. But the only thing we're not 100% certain about in this midfield three is whether it's going to be Kai Havertz or Mateo Kovacic next to Mason Mount as the right-sided central midfielder. Personally, I would actually go for Mateo Kovacic. He's in better form at the moment and also didn't have to deal with a certain illness and pretty bad symptoms recently. And then for Tuesday against Wolves, I might go with Havertz instead. That's what I would do personally anyway. And as for the front three, well, in current form, Olivier Giroud will and should start up top. Tammy Abraham really didn't help himself with a pretty damn poor performance in midweek, in my opinion. And Timo Werner will also definitely start. Of course, had the rest in midweek. And for me, he starts on the right wing, because I think Christian Pulisic should start as well. I get the concern with him. Trust me, guys. I get the concern. And maybe bringing him off the bench might be smarter. But like I said already, we are going for the Premier League title. At least I hope we are. And when, if not now, that we have two other wingers out injured, do we desperately need Christian Pulisic? Exactly. Right now is when we need him. When we have the other two fit, yeah, of course, leave him on the bench and only bring him on. Yeah, that would be smarter. But right now, in my opinion, we have to risk it. Starting him tomorrow and even on Tuesday against Wolves as well. What's the point in trying to save him if that costs us, any chance of winning the Premier League? We can't just keep losing. We can't afford to just drop random points this season. We can't afford it. So in my opinion, the reward is higher than the risk. If you think about risk versus reward, I think the reward is at the moment just high and we need to risk it. You know, that's just my thoughts. Of course, if you disagree, let me know down in the comment section below. But coming to my predicted 11 on this side of the screen, and let's be honest, it's nearly the same, but one small change. The same back five, Mundi, Silva, Zuma, Chilwell and Reece James. The same midfield three of N'Golo Kante, Mason Mount, and I also believe Frank Lampard will start Mateo Kovacic as the right-sided central midfielder. But I believe that Frank Lampard will not start Christian Pulisic, but go for Kai Havertz out on the right wing again, alongside Olivier Giroud up top and Timo Werner on the left as the front three. Mostly, I think, in the hope that we can get the 3 points even without Pulisic starting and probably bringing him on in the second half if need be, I guess. And obviously the press conference was actually yesterday, so you never know. Things could have changed. Pulisic could, out of nowhere, not be fit enough to play. So I guess we'll just see when the lineup comes out tomorrow. But I don't know. I just think Frank really doesn't want to risk another injury for the American. That's what I believe. And if he doesn't start him, that's probably the best decision, because Frank Lampard and the medical staff obviously know the situation much better than I do, just looking from the outside. Well, with the information I have, I think it's worth risking him. If he was able to train as normal all week and he would have even played in a Krasnodar game, had it had any importance to it, I think we need to risk it. I personally think we need to risk it. But coming to the game itself, and whether Everton are in good form or not, we should be forcing our game upon them. You know, that's the kind of team we are, and that's the kind of team we should be. We should play our football, build from the back, use the fullbacks to create width and space, have our number 8s get into the half spaces and try to create chances both from crosses, especially from the fullbacks, but also the wingers, but also quick passing through the middle and shots from distance every now and again. We need to do all of those things. And ideally, Timo Werner finally finds his bloody shooting boots again and actually takes some of his chances. Because, you know, as much as I've criticized him recently, it's still impressive, incredibly impressive actually, that he finds himself with this many chances pretty much every game. If you can only start... I'm not even expecting him to take every chance. We know that from his Leipzig days, he's not the most clinical striker. But he needs to take more than he has done recently. And also our centre-backs need to be absolutely on it. Our whole defence does, because Calvert-Lewin is very good in the air. We'll touch on him in a little bit as well. And on transition, we need to be really good too, because Richarlison is a fast player, and they have players to find those balls over the top to possibly get it behind us, so we need to be careful of that. And I want our intensity to be at least close to the level it was against Leeds United last week, because that was incredible. We outran Leeds, the first team in the Premier League that did that this season, and they even played Liverpool, who, you know, are usually known as a really hard-working team and running so much. And yeah, the Krasnodar game didn't matter midweek, but it can sometimes happen that once you drop the intensity for one game, and we certainly did against Krasnodar, you kind of struggle to get it back. So the boys can't let that happen. Press as a unit, win the second balls, while outplaying Everton. Obviously, I expect that from us, also outworking them. But with that, I guess let's talk about our opponents, Everton. After a brilliant start to the season under manager Carlo Ancelotti, of course, we all love Carlo here at Chelsea, they're now only 9th in the table actually on 17 points from 11 games, scoring quite a lot to be fair with 20 goals, but conceding too much to be fighting at the front with 18 goals against them already. And like I said, they had an amazing start to the season. They really, really did. 4 wins in a row at the start and then a draw against Liverpool. But since then, in the last 6 games, they only managed 1 win, which was over Fulham, while losing 4 other games and even a really poor draw, if we're going to be totally honest with ourselves, against Burnley last weekend. And as of late, they're also missing both of their fullbacks in Lucas Digne at left back and Seamus Coleman at right back due to injury. And missing those two has actually even made Ancelotti change their formation from a 4-3-3 to a 3-4-3 in the last 2 games. Hasn't really gone all that well, so let's see what kind of formation they go with tomorrow. But these two are really good players. Especially Digne also gives them a lot in the attacking third with crosses and set pieces as well. But that's not it for them. They're also without James Rodriguez, you know, at least the biggest star player, if you will. And also Fabian Delph, who did start the last game, you know, kind of instead of Lucas Digne as the left mid or left wing back in their 3-4-3 system. So they're facing quite a few injury troubles as well, especially to at least 3 really important players. But they still have some other really dangerous players. I touched on Calvert-Lewin already, has already scored 11 Premier League goals this season. You know, people sleep on that. None of them have been penalties either. Mind you, Timo Werner is only on 4, and people be telling me I shouldn't be so harsh on Timo Werner. Mate, Calvert-Lewin is on 11 goals. And Richarlison, even if he's only scored 1 goal this season, and that was a penalty if I'm not mistaken, also a very good player that you always have to be careful of. And then in midfield, with Doucouré and Allen, who of course they signed from Napoli, they have a lot of talent in there as well. But as I said already, they are in poor form. And at the moment, they have important players out injured as well. And frankly, we're flying. So I expect us to go to Goodison tomorrow and get the 3 points. And I think we will. And I think we will go there and win the game 2-0. That's going to be my score prediction. It is my score prediction. And to be honest, that's kind of actually been it from me. But as I said in the beginning already, please be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't just yet. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you're excited for tomorrow's game. And if you just want to make me happy. Like I said in the beginning as well already, if you smash that like button, it cheers me up, and who doesn't want to cheer other people up? Just be nice, let's all be nice as a species of human beings. And of course, as I said in the beginning as well, be sure to check out my personal channel, to which the link is down in the description, or if you click the I button up there for my in-depth analysis of every single Chelsea game the day after every single Chelsea game. Be sure to check that out. And just lastly, let me shout out our sponsors one more time. Get Football Manager 21 with the link down in the description and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And if you want any of the new Chelsea gear or any other football gear, in all honesty, make sure you use the other link down in the description and use our promo code VAR25 for 25% off. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's been it from me. I really, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really looking forward to the game. And yeah, up to Chelsea, and I'll see you when I see you.